I can't hear. Can you hear me? Rip.
I gave such a heartfelt speech. I gave such a heartfelt speech about how like this is part of it. This is part of the whole like intro that I gave. Hi everybody, I'm Chris. That's Mr. Blackrot, aka Mr. Muckluck, and I've been living Muckluck over the past like month. But we're here. We're here. It just makes us stronger.
Mhm.
And we also have Invisible Melanin. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good.
I mean, it's been a while. So just to give a little backstory, I've had you on one of my older podcasts. That's unfortunate. I had a great time there. I was like, you know what? You know who I haven't seen or talked to in a minute? Carissa. We haven't spoken. We haven't seen you in a minute. But how have you been?
I've been good. I've been really busy with school this past semester. I started ramping up the extracurriculars, and now that I'm on summer, I'm trying to reconnect with some of my social medias and put out more content and just have some fun while I have some time.
And and let's. I guess we could. I'm trying to get Cedric back in.
Mhm.
Hmm. You're, Jesus, we're live. This is the joy of doing things live. Guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. BRB. All right, we're back with everybody. Yo.
Yo,
Oh man, this has been a trial and tribulation on my spirit.
I
hey
live for
man,
the
behind the
chaos.
scenes for the people.
But
We thrive in chaos.
we thriving, doing good, doing great. How's everyone's week been?
It's been chill.
Two out of
Just
ten.
been
I can feel that. I definitely feel that.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I haven't had. So I've had. Okay, you guys are laughing too. I've had Cedric on as a guest on a podcast. I've had Chris on as a guest on a podcast. It's crazy. Y'all went to school together. Y'all know each other.
hmm
We actually do know
Yeah.
each other. What
Yeah.
was the last? What was the last grade that we
So
like?
Um, the only reason I know at least eighth grade, because I do have photographic evidence.
Photograph is crazy.
That is crazy,
I would
especially.
love to see that.
There's at least one on my Facebook I can dig up for sure. So at least eighth grade. Wait, where'd you go to high school?
Griffin.
Oh, so yeah, that's why we split up. That's a
Okay.
whole nother story why I went to Spalding.
All right, so
You want to
y'all,
tell it?
or real quick though, you said you wanted to see that picture. We
And
have the photo.
yeah, oh yeah, actually, yeah.
My boy, eighth grade Cedric.
This man put the eighth grade picture of me. That's wild.
I like
I
it
mean,
though.
I was stylish then, you know what I mean?
The
I was
same
about what, 12?
swag. It's the
About
same
12.
same swag. I love it.
hmm
Yeah. My favorite picture.
Honestly.
Chris, you good? You straight, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. 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 I actually got a couple of younger pictures of me revealed lately, so I'm kind of numb to this right now. But that's a great picture though.
I don't even think that that's embarrassing. Honestly, it's iconic.
Yeah, it's really is. It's a great picture. Like I
It
look back
captures
on it now, I'm like, yeah,
it captures your youth.
hmm
I guess. How you been? How you been?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, there's three folks. Well, two other than me. Anyway, I've been good. I've been good. Life's been interesting for sure. I kind of ran off from Griffin.
Mm,
Got married, did the
mm.
housewife thing. I did the housewife thing. I'm doing the college thing, the social media thing. That's pretty much the only difference.
Oh man, productive life. I like it. Okay. I
Barely.
haven't done any of that, but yeah, I did leave Griffin. You know what I mean? I went up the street a little bit. Uh,
hmm
but yeah, I'm just me. Quick story, me and Chris are roommates. So yeah, I
He's
wouldn't really
another
ask him
one.
how he's doing. Yeah. I see I hear how he's doing all the time. But yeah, so just kind of living life now. Doing a couple trips, trying to get like you.
Yeah. I want to go back to Georgia though. I talk about being homesick all the time. Honestly, I'm just staying in California at this point until I finish school, and then we'll see where I go after that.
I mean, hey, ain't nothing you missing. But
I was gonna say, yeah,
we
Georgia is just here.
it's the same.
I'd say it's on fire, but I think California is literally on fire. So
That's
Yeah,
wild. Shit,
that's a
yeah,
little more
crazy.
accurate. Honestly, I'd rather deal with tornadoes and what little bit of hurricanes y'all get there than wildfires.
Yeah, true. That's true. We funny story. We should actually be coming towards California in like what, October, something
hmm
similar to that. So yeah, we'll be over there in the area.
What y'all coming to do?
Supposed to be
get
going on a little
lit.
cruise. You know what I'm saying? On a little cruise, get lit. So we're gonna be in Cali, Los Angeles for like a day or two.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe the stars will align and we can see each other for a second. I go down there every once in a while. I'm not down there all the time by any means because I'm up in Sacramento.
Okay. Okay. It's not that far, but
With the price of things right now, it
The
might as
price
well
of
be across
gas
the country.
nowadays. All right. So I think it's interesting talking to someone that lives in California because I know you guys' gas is probably like crazy. What's the highest that you've seen in California?
The highest I've seen around Sacramento specifically, I think is like 669 and 670 something. But I was in LA back in the beginning of May before things started going up, and it had already broke $6 there then. So I'm scared to see what it is there.
$6.
Yeah,
I'm staying home.
I
I'm
go to
it
the
taking
be,
gas station,
I'll
say
take
690
I'm taking vacation time,
a bike,
and that's regular gas.
man.
a bike. I would have the most athletic legs in the state of Georgia, bro. 690, I can't do it. you know,
All right. So
hoverboard.
speaking about like the increase of prices, I think just in general. So, Crystal, you said you've done the housewife thing and everything, but for us out here, that's like out in the streets, it's expensive to date. It is expensive to date right now. I am gonna foremost say that like one of like I am not pursuing people right now because my wallets just ain't ready for it. Just straight up.
I
That's
feel
real.
that. I do think that it's a little naive to say it's expensive to date though, because I don't stop being expensive when you wife me up. I still want the dates.
That's true. That's a really good point. And
Yeah.
once again, that's why I am here right now. But I came across an article on Market Watch. Um, I don't frequent Market Watch. It sort of just popped in like my little feed of things. But here's the headline. I had a date with a great guy. I didn't drink, but his wine added $36 to our bill. We split the check evenly. Should I have spoken up?
Yes.
Yes. Um, I will say I pay for what I got. You know, unless I invite you, or I invite you on a date and I'm gonna pay for everything, I pay for what I got. So you bought $36 wine, let me get $36 on the check. So I feel like that's just simple. Unless we shared it, then you split it if we both had some. So yes, you should have said something.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest difference for me is the fact that she didn't drink anything at all. Like, I could maybe see it if she had even like one or two drinks, but like that is just clear manipulation if you're just trying to get drunk and leave, obviously, if no one else
Yeah,
is drinking.
Yeah. So
that's fine.
looking at the story, I'm just giving like a quick synopsis. The so apparently it was just two glasses of wine. They're out at some like fancy pants restaurant in Los Angeles,
Los
and
Angeles.
each wine glass cost $18. So you had one with like I guess his appetizer, another with his main course,
Mm.
and she said that his beverages came up to $36, and she waited for him to say, "I'll get the tip," or "You don't have to pay for the alcohol," or even, "Would you like me to take the wine off and pay for it separately?" Like all like reasonable things. Like that's
Mhm.
those are things as a functioning as an adult that's going out to a fancy pants restaurant and like have like the decency of being like, you know what, let's split the bill. Like they already got to that point, which for me,
Right.
if I'm also in the same boat. If I'm inviting someone out, I'm paying. Like that's my gesture for for asking you out. So they're already at a point where they're like splitting the bill. Like that's kudos. Like can we no yeah
Well, I'm not very well versed in the dating scene. So is this after they've been on a few dates or this is like
ooh really good
first
That's a
question.
good
date?
question. That's a great question. That's a great question. First date.
Oh, first date.
First
First
date.
date.
Yeah, that's
See,
wild. That's
splitting the bill
crazy.
on first date makes sense to me. I mean, obviously, someone offering there's all types of people. There's the types of people that want to get everything. There's the type of people who want to split it because they don't want to owe anything. Like it really depends on what kind of communication they had prior, I guess, ultimately. But just based off of the details, I do think it's inappropriate to split it. Well, I'm also curious though how much the food costs if two drinks cost 30 something dollars too though.
That's the real
Mm,
question right there.
that's a good
Um,
question.
yeah, I stopped reading after that. I'm trying to see.
Now, honestly, I never understood the splitting of the bill thing. Like, I feel like I either pay for it or I just pay for what I got. I don't get the total is 102. We're just gonna pay 50 a piece, regardless of what you paid for. I never got that.
I
Yeah, I
only
don't.
do that. Yeah.
No,
Uh,
I don't. I feel like Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's because there's always that situation where there's gonna be someone that like
Didn't
got
get
more.
that much.
Yeah,
mm.
So yeah, especially if it's two people, that's even weirder because now I can just order whatever and just count the balance. Like, Now, yeah, I could just be like, okay, I get $50 worth of food, knowing that she only got 30, I'm gonna pay $40. So I just save 10. Like I'm finessing people at this point. Instead, I could just pay for what I got. You pay for what you got, we go home.
I definitely agree with that. I only split bills if it seemed like everyone had even-ish things, and even then we have to
Mm.
be close on top of that because I'm a little cheap.
I ain't want to say it, but
I say it. You
I'm
know,
gonna say
I
it.
know where we grew up.
Exactly. Hey, I ain't pay for that. I didn't pay for that. No.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's. I feel like we spent a lot of time. I really like doing a Reddit thing last episode.
Mm.
So I only have like that one article for this week because next up, let's go ahead and get to know the invisible melanin. Let's the person behind the. Oh wait. Ugh. So you have over 65,000 followers on Instagram, 390,000 followers on TikTok.
hmm
What kind of content do you make?
Honestly, at first I had more of a like structure to things. I was like, I'm an albinism advocate, a disability advocate, representation. But now, honestly, I treated my social media kind of like a diary for a while of like, these are my life accomplishments, and this is my story of like overcoming these obstacles. I wouldn't talk about them until I was through with them though. So then we got to the like quote inspirational part, right? Like the part where everything was figured out. But now I'm just kind of like, one, especially specifically with the albinism stuff, it do get a little repetitive over time because nothing changes.
That's true.
There's not some new breaking news info. I'm pale and I can't see good, and that's gonna keep being that. So I really just been posting whatever. I mean, I've kind of come to the conclusion that regardless of if I blatantly say it, me just existing on the internet is achieving my goals, and I still educated enough people, and every once in a while educate people to where my audience can go and educate people for me. Even that's one of my favorite things, honestly.
Mm.
Have you wait? So specifically with that, like, have you had people like in the comments like come through with the defense and everything?
Oh, of course. Of
Hmm.
course. Sometimes for better or for worse, I've definitely had to like delete some threads where things actually got a little hostile because people will be a little, I won't say too passionate defending me, but they'll lose their head a little bit. And I'm like, we're making negative progress once you start calling people out of their names and stuff. Like,
Mm.
I'm trying to make the world better, not worse.
Nah, the bigger your fan base get, you got those diehard fans like the Beehive. Like one thing you ain't gonna do is talk about Beyonce on Twitter. Nicki Minaj, I wish you would go on Twitter and disrespect her. You're gonna be in that level of you got so many passionate people behind you that people are terrified to talk disrespectfully about you. Now you may not approve of it, but it does good in the end.
Yeah, I guess just right now while things are smaller, it feels a little more
Mm,
personal because like I can point out if there's a particularly nasty thread,
mm,
and try to get ahead of it. But I've had to come to the conclusion like if I do keep doing this and growing with it, I am gonna have to start kind of letting things go.
yeah,
Like it's out of my hands. They're gonna do whatever they want.
yeah, you gotta numb yourself to some of it.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people that I guess if they were wanting to like get into content creation and they have that happening to them? Like, what would you say? What would you like say that they could like look at and like look at things like differently or like move about that differently?
So I only intervene if it's something that gets particularly nasty, but overall, engagement is engagement. Even if
Mm,
people are arguing, even if people are insulting you, um, it's still engagement, and the algorithm don't know any different. And that's why I think it's hilarious when people go out of their way to like talk trash and like try to troll people and like on their posts. I'm like, you are literally helping them. The best thing you
mm.
truly could do if you really just hated somebody in your heart is block them. if you don't support seeing my body or the way I talk or whatever, the best way to get rid of me is to not engage. So like that's really one thing I want people to kind of like zoom out to look at the bigger picture about the discourse online when you're trying to make content yourself. It can be a little jarring at first for sure, to even from especially for me because I'm like a really sensitive person, and just like very empathetic to a fault, because being around, even seeing those energies at first was like unsettling, like people being upset regardless if I agreed with them or not, and like um as Cedric said, you do got to kind of get numb to things, and it's not one thing you can do to numb yourself. It just kind of happens through exposure, sadly
Yeah, yeah.
enough.
Hmm. How do you?
That's Go
Oh wait,
ahead,
go ahead.
Chris. Oh no, I was just gonna ask, just in terms of content creation itself, do you have any advice for people?
I think that this gets said a lot, but honestly, one thing that's so annoying about growing up is realizing that like overplayed cheesy stuff is overplayed and cheesy for a reason. But be yourself. I
Mm,
know, being
no, that's true.
yourself revolutionary. Nah, but I feel like online to an extent you cater your personality and you don't put it all out there, but at the same time I feel like you still have to pick parts that are realistic and true to yourself. Because there are tons of different people out there, and you might think that whatever your special interest is boring, that you don't have anything to say, but I guarantee you that there are so many other people that think the way that you do, or could be persuaded by what you have to say, or just need a break at the end of the day and want to watch you bake muffins in your kitchen in the middle of the night. Like, there's all types of people, and it breaks my heart when I know all these cool ass people with all these cool things to say, and they're like, there's so many people on the internet already. It's like, no, I guarantee you, there's not a person just like you, though.
Mm, I
Hmm.
actually needed that because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like you, it's a billion people trying to do the same exact thing as you. Why is yours gonna be different? But that's a good point. You're you. They're not. Okay. Great advice.
That and I feel like if you're an interesting person, anyways, like it's sort of like this sort of just it makes sense, and I feel and I'm happy that we're living in an age where the accessibility is there. If you really want to do literally if you want to do anything, it all it takes is just taking the effort to learn how to do it and just putting yourself out there. Repetition is key. You can't just do things once or twice and like gauge your experience off of that. Like find something you love to do, and just keep doing it. And that's
I
something
completely agree.
and that's something that's actually gotten me to like where I'm at now. And like I try to take lessons and everything. And like I said at the beginning of the show, like this past week of like having different equipment failures and like things just not working right. At the end of the day, like I could have been like, you know what, damn, my audio board doesn't work anymore. I have to get a new one. I'm gonna postpone the show. I have to have everything perfect. No, like where I said like literally like 10, 15, 30 minutes before the show, sitting down, realizing, this camera isn't working. Damn, let me use this phone. Wait, now I'm not getting sound from the phone to like where I want it. And everything just the want of me wanting to do the show and wanting to like have this conversation, it trumped that feeling of like not wanting to do it. Like you have to put yourself out there. You have to do it. You have to I'm not gonna say work through it because that's also toxic, but putting out the work, putting out your just being consistent, that's what matters.
Hmm.
So, oh man, I feel inspired.
See? Great
Exactly.
advice.
Actually, not to make it even more mushier while you were talking, I was thinking that's one thing I deeply admire about you. Like your persistence and your ability to try new things and move between projects. Like that's one thing that actually paralyzes me personally. So when I see your tenacity with working through those things, I'm like, dang, I got to get more like him.
It's all like I realize that not doing anything is only hurting me. Like you could have right now, you could say you want to do something, and this is the perfect time for it. This is the middle of the year. You have 6 months until 2023. So from here until 2023, you can either have 6 months of growth, 6 months of work, 6 months of you getting better, or 6 months of excuses. So
That's deep.
I agree, but I also am neurodivergent, so there are some interesting roadblocks that come with that. But even I'm not saying that it's impossible by any means. It's just you got to have the will, and then you got to figure out how to make it work with how your brain works, and that's the process I'm still in.
Yeah, me too. So I think the hardest thing is just trying to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Like that's the hardest thing that it is to do because when you're comfortable, you just want to keep doing it, and that could be less work, less energy towards something, just less focus. But when you're uncomfortable, that's when you have to lock in and actually try your hardest, but you're not comfortable. So sometimes you seek back to being comfortable.
Mhm.
I told myself I got to go into like that ultra instinct mindset and just let my body do it.
Yeah,
Just go with the flow.
yeah. It's hard though, man. It's all about building habits, though. So
Mhm.
So speaking about habits, we at the beginning of this we talked about your growth on Instagram, where you're at on TikTok. What can you tell us like what your process is when it comes down to creating TikToks and Instagram reels?
yeah,
There's not one.
okay.
I wish there was one. Maybe I'd be more consistent. Um, so every once in a while, I will get the motivation to do something a little bit more like my hair content or makeup or something like that. And that process is usually consists of I have to get myself in a headspace for that kind of stuff. That's why I can't just bust it out of nowhere. Like I gotta take a nice shower and get myself in a good headspace because that's one of the things about being a content creator that does make kind of beauty stuff, and that's actually the money maker for me. You can't just flip on the camera and make some jokes and like in your bed and like call it a day, which I mean I try to sometimes. I consider myself a bit of a comedian in my head, but in reality, that's not what pays the bills. So you got to get your place in a headspace to get cute. You got to believe it, and then you got to do it, and then you got to film it, and not get frustrated and want to pull your hair out while you're trying to do your hair and look cute. And that's why I don't make more videos. I'm working on it. I think that's more unique to, like I said, the beauty space and being mentally ill. But aside from that, most of the things I actually have the most fun doing are the things where I think of something silly or their TikTok audio pops into my head while I'm doing something stupid, and I'm like, oh, this would make me laugh. It'll probably make somebody else laugh. So it's
Mm,
like there's no in between though. It's either like not planned or polished at all, or I'm very high strung and stressed trying to do it.
Hmm. You know what's
that's
funny? Like
interesting.
I think as a content creator, and especially like just with what I feel is somewhat works on Instagram and on TikTok is like it's the fun moments, the ones that like those moments that you're not putting that much effort into, like those like on the whim Instagram, like you hear like the audio and you're like, wait a minute, and like you record it, put it out there. Those are the things that do numbers. But like when I'm sitting down and I'm thinking, what if I posted this intricate thought about this certain thing and like I put a bunch of like planning, I do writing, have everything looking great, and then like it's like okay, my aunt liked it, my cousin liked it. Okay, damn, Instagram doesn't like it. So
Uh,
it's honestly just putting the stuff out there.
I learned that with TikTok. I posted a TikTok and it was like a quick little funny TikTok, whatever. And first TikTok I ever posted had no followers. It got like 58,000 views. And I was like, 58,000? I was like, okay. And the second one was like, yo, what if we, and it was just a bunch of thought process that wasn't just a genuine moment. It got like 50 at first and like went up to like 400, something like that. So I learned that sometimes just the small moments, that was kind of funny, and it was just genuine. Post stuff like that, as opposed to you tried to make this funny and you didn't even think it was funny. It just makes sense to you.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I
So it
completely
goes to
agree.
like just at the end of the day, like just make it fun. That's where like it's gonna last with you. If you're
Exactly.
if you're doing it where it's fun, for me, doing this stuff is fun, so it's not drawing. I've had a long ass day, y'all. Like this day has been super. It's been stressful, but I enjoy doing this so much that it's not like I don't feel like I'm pulling energy like putting into it. Like it's sort of like it feels like it's low key recharging me.
Mm,
That's
mm.
So
nice.
you gotta find that thing for you. So speaking about like enjoying things, what's been your favorite video that you've made so far?
So I was thinking hard about that one. It's really, really tough. Can we define favorite, like favorite process wise, like favorite outcome,
What
favorite
so
out,
so sort of
yeah.
piggybacking off of what I said, like what video, what piece of content do you feel like sort of like makes you feel good that you've made it? Like it's
Something you
something that
enjoyed the
when you make
most.
yeah, something that you just enjoy like the process of.
Okay. Um, so anything collaborative, which I don't even do that much of, and I need to do more, but I did a video last year. It was actually exactly a year ago. It's International Albinism Awareness Day today. And I made it with a bunch of the like creators who also have albinism that I talk to and really admire. And I look at that one. That one just brings me a lot of joy all around. Like I said, I like coordinating collaborative things. I like to share information about albinism, but it was like a less like educational way and just like we just did one of those like pass the phone challenges, but I wanted them to be nice because I like being sweet. And maybe it might have been funny to do a mean one. Maybe we could still, but overall, yeah, that was my favorite.
See, I see. I think if we find like moments like that, and just for me, if I could make content where like I could make content that makes me feel good afterwards, like that, I'll be a happy person. I feel like I'd be living the happiest me if I could live off of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I wanted to make social media content because one of the most like inspiring things for me when I was younger was seeing a person with albinism online, and he was a model. He was like he's a black man
Mm,
with albinism, and it meant so much to me when I was a teenager. So now when I do make content about albinism and I get people reaching out to me who have albinism, who have siblings or other close people who have albinism, that's the stuff that I'm like, this is why I do it. Like I've definitely cried reading
mm.
DMs before and like had cute little conversations with people that really just lift my spirit in a way that I haven't really felt before because it's just so personal. But that's why it's tough at the same time because it's like the more educational stuff is more palatable, but at the same time, it's not as motivating to do. So it's hard to keep up with it. That's what like I'm in this like weird transition period where it's like I still want to be an advocate and I want to be a positive representation, but doing that stuff back to back to back to back can get kind of old really quickly.
And yeah, I guess you got to pace yourself, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I could scale away from that and just like pop in for special occasions, but mostly, like I said, just be me. Like I've always really admired creators who don't necessarily do one thing, like the people who they're just a personality. Like maybe they're making soap today. Maybe we're doing like,
Someone like Snoop Dogg,
drunk
right?
Mario Kart. Yeah.
Snoop Dogg,
Like,
Shaq.
mm-hmm.
They just I feel
Uh
like they just live their lives, right? At this point.
it's so funny you say that. I talk about how much I love Shaq all the time because of that. Shaq is my idol, truly.
Yeah.
Shaq is my idol as well.
So, he DJs, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's that's wild.
Shaq is
It's a
like he does everything, and he's
It's
such
more
a
wild, yeah.
loving person that it's like, dang,
Hmm.
I'm happy for him. You just can't root against him.
Isn't he a sheriff in Georgia?
He's a sheriff.
That's
Yes.
my favorite thing. You're thinking DJ's random. What? He's a
This man is
sheriff.
sheriff. He's a doctor. He's yeah, he got his doctorate. So he's a
Oh,
doctor, a DJ, sheriff. He owns like so many businesses and companies. And then he's on TV being a fool and he's 7'1". So like you
That's the
start to
crazy
forget,
part. 7-1.
yeah, you start to forget he played basketball. Like
right.
I genuinely forget. Oh yeah, Shaq Dad used to hoop. I love that man, bro. Him and Charles
Hmm.
Barkley are my favorite people, man.
All
Lots
right,
of love in this app.
y'all ready for some hot takes?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, so
I'm amazed.
we're gonna go through a couple of these. I just want to just off the top say that spoilers suck. Like
Mm,
if you find joy in watching something, and like I understand being a fan, I understand being excited, but posting. Hold on. I know who I really have beef with before I talk about like these fanboys. I have beef with these YouTubers that are
yeah,
putting the spoilers in the thumbnails. So not only
spoilers
like
crazy.
you could get spoiled by like scrolling and just seeing the spoiler in the thumbnail, you have like my algorithm on YouTube. I listen to a lot of people that do like the video essays, and they just talk about stuff. Tell me why I'm over here washing dishes and my hands are like wet doing whatever washing, and like my YouTube playlist like automatically goes into Dragon Ball Z spoilers for the new movie that just came out,
Mm,
and just straight up just like dove in, and I got spoiled. So that very night, hit up the homie who had the link to watch this movie in straight Japanese, like no subtitles, like it was just straight. I didn't
yeah,
understand anything they were saying, but it's Dragon Ball, so it's
yeah, yeah.
what could they be saying? It's action. It's about the hands. It's about the
Hmm.
fights. And the
You
movie was
better than
dope.
me. I would have hated to turn my phone completely off. Like I would have just full send it. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I just want to take the time that to say Dragon Ball Superhero. That's cool. That's cool. If you can stay away from the spoilers, stay away from the spoilers. But it's I really like what they did in it.
Okay.
And I guess I don't want to spoil it for no one. I'm not gonna be that person. I'm not gonna put it in the thumbnail. All
Buzz
right.
it in.
That's the plot twist. Michael B. Jordan and Lauren Harvey split up. What's y'all hot takes
Mm.
on that? Cedric?
I'm
Oh, wait.
No, it's fine.
Kristen? All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm more caught up on all these babies that growing up without a father because he's just out here doing whatever.
Mm.
Wait. Yeah. Wait. How many kids does he? He's not having kids.
Oh, he doesn't have
Oh,
kids?
he's talking about Nick Cannon.
Oh,
Um,
Nick Cannon. Yeah, that's Nick
Yeah.
Cannon. That's
Nick
all.
Cannon got his
Yeah.
ninth
I
baby on the
see.
way.
I just be reading so much stuff on the internet. It just all
Mm.
blends together.
He got his ninth kid on the way.
That
Three in the womb right now. That's interesting to me. Couldn't be me. But with the Lori
so
Harvey and Michael
yeah.
B. Jordan situation, I try to stay out of people's business. I'm preface by saying that they business is they business. My only question for that was like they didn't have that conversation nowhere in the relationship. Like, I'm trying to get married. Are you like ever until he proposed? Because I feel like there's a conversation to be had at some point where it's like, yo, are we both moving towards marriage or what we doing here? And so like, because I don't want to get down on one knee and have to get up and it's not a yes. That's like one of the most
That's a
embarrassing.
that's a long walk back to wherever you got to walk to.
Long, I feel like I don't know. I really don't know because I feel like either got to separate after that. Usually you do because it's like you're not planning to marry me if you didn't accept that. Like no one needs more time. Like you know what I mean? If a woman wants to marry you, it's like you propose after a decent amount of time. She should say yes. She's not gonna say I want to know you for another year and then we can get married. So I know they split up. She deleted they stuff immediately. That was immediately he still had it up. Then they took him to the finals game, and he was sitting up there, and he had that look of I don't want to be here, but my
Yep.
friends made me come. They was like, "Yo, let's go to the finals," and they had this man right on camera just looking sad. Now everybody using him as a meme. Like
Disrespect.
it
No,
really
so
disrespect. It's funny though, because now he got a crying meme like the real Michael Jordan,
full circle.
full circle.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
I can only imagine what Lauren Harvey's close friends must have been like. You know she's wilding right now.
Oh, you mean close friends like on IG?
I'm like, yeah.
You're a wild one. Uh, I know she turned up. Yeah, she probably hit up Future.
Oh my god.
They dated, whatever. So hit him up, little party situation. I'm just trying to get back to the street. You know what I mean? That's the easiest way to get there. Future.
Blow the roster off.
That's come on. I'm not gonna say she did that because I've never really heard her talk. I've never heard her speak a word in my life. Like I just see pictures of her, and I've seen her smile. That's it. Like, like as a person, I know nothing about her. And like, well, I know she's not trying to get married. That's the only thing I would know if I met her.
Hmm.
So that's just
So
me.
do you guys think? So I feel like they were together for a year,
Mhm.
and I think a year, honestly, for me, a year is that point where you have honestly you have to analyze where the relationship is going at that point. Because for me, after a year, I'm already sort of locking in and trying to figure out, all right, can I, how do I see myself spending like for me the rest of my life with this person? And if things aren't lining up by that like year point, not saying that growth, people grow, people. If you're not growing, then there's something wrong with you. But
Right.
I could, and that's not even saying like after a year things couldn't get better, but is a year too soon, or do you think a year is a good point to sort of gauge where you want to go?
I think I think it depends on the relationship. I think a year if the relationship is progressing steadily, like y'all go on dates, y'all hang out all the time in each other's houses, y'all get to the point where you're like contemplating moving in because y'all basically stay together and it's like y'all enjoy each other's company. It's like progressing along that within the months. Correct. Like after a year, y'all should at least evaluate the relationship and see if that's something both people want. But some relationships move slower. Like, people are busy. They're not able to hit that bond and all of that as quickly as another relationship. So I think if you say a year, then everybody's going to get that pressure of, okay, it's been a year. Should I be marrying this person? And it's like, I think it's just, relationship to relationship bias. Like, if you know your relationship is at that point where you don't want to hang out with anybody else, you don't want to date anybody else, or you don't really have like major flaws that this person just have that you couldn't see yourself with, then why not?
Yeah.
So she obviously saw a flaw in him. I don't know what it was, so I'm not trying to be on this man like that, but uh, Michael Jordan is like the icon for like dudes. Like women act like he's perfect. Like so if you ain't want to marry him, I ain't got no shot. Like
Okay.
that's all I'm saying. Like all right, this man is a good dude. He got millions. He decent looking. Uh, I don't know what you're looking for.
What's your answer on the knowing 1 year in?
Pretty much everything that Lamar said was how I feel. I guess I'd expand on it a little bit with just like I feel like on one hand, you know, you should be able to tell if your relationship is at that point. Like, we definitely need to throw away the idea of like, by this time, you should be at this part of your relationship because I think it was already said perfectly. Like, you got different lives, like, you have different amounts of time and energy to allot toward that person. And some people, yeah, they could get to that place in a year, but some people, they need extra time. I will say though, to get a year in and not be on the page about marriage, I wonder about like what else you weren't on the same page with. Just because you it's hard to explain just because you know if things are going well, right? I feel like you feel that point in your relationship where you're like, there are some like me and this person line up like personality wise, our views are compatible, our lifestyles are compatible, but and like outside of that, you know if your relationship is solid or not. And I'm wondering what that piece is that like made her not want to marry him. But I also wonder if he knew. Like that's my second question with that
Correct.
because like if she didn't communicate it with him, that really could like sideline you for sure.
I have a question about like, okay, in terms of the relationship thing, do you feel like in within a year y'all should, I'm not gonna say stay together like officially, but like basically live together? Because I feel like a lot of times people get married and a lot of the complaints they have is like living arrangement wise. Like you didn't stay with this person, so now when they might have different organizations, different hygienes, different, it's a lot of other stuff that you didn't see. Is that,
Mm.
does that come into play when you're dealing with marriage, like from experience?
I mean, it certainly does. There's some interesting things you realize when you move in with someone that bother you
Right.
that you didn't even think about. So I don't think that any amount of time or knowing someone is ever going to completely get rid of that factor. I
Mm.
can definitely think of a lot of like little silly things that I was just shocked by or that I feel like I shocked my partner with. Um, I do feel like if you know a person to a certain extent, though, you can kind of anticipate certain things. And especially after a year, there's only so long you can pretend to be somebody you're not before the mask starts slipping off. So, someone maybe
True.
can try to act all clean and put together for a few months, and maybe you've never seen their place, or maybe they get their place together really nice only when you come over. But you're going to be like, oh, I'm in the neighborhood and pop by like 6 months in a relationship and actually see how they live.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
that's a good
and
point.
and like that's like my mind process into like that whole argument is that people say that all right, there are some people that they are really adamant about not living with each other until marriage. I
Yeah.
feel like if you're that type of person, then you're gonna like you have to have those moments. I'm not gonna say pop up on somebody, but like you're gonna have to like there's gonna have to be moments where you'll stay over for like I say an extended time, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes you'll be
The
over more
weekend.
than like the weekend, and you see things. Like I think I don't know. That's really hard to like be. I couldn't do it. Be like a completely different person for a year. Nah, I got a fart in front of
It's
you.
possible.
It's gotta have like I got we have to have that moment.
Yeah.
Like those awkward moments that has to happen. Like I can't see
Mhm.
myself marrying someone and not experiencing that.
Mhm. That's something I actually don't get is like pretending to be a different person for the sake of like getting somebody because that stuff is stressful and it's exhausting.
Mm.
And if they don't like you, if they like that made up version of yourself, then they don't actually like you. So, well,
Yeah.
what do you think's
That's,
gonna happen?
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So there's a lot to not a lot to say about this what happened with their split, but to me it's always interesting seeing how the internet sort of digests this and like seeing what like the think tank, seeing like what like the majority think, and it's all over the place. It's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I saw most of the women just like role reverse it. Like they was like, well, guys been doing this, leading women on, so
Mm.
good for her, do you,
Oh my
sis?
god.
So that's what a lot of the comments I've been seeing. Like the dudes is like similar to me, like, yo, you don't want to marry him. Like he seems like a good guy. I thought women were looking for a good guy that takes care of his responsibilities and take care of you. Like I thought that was like the simple, like I know it's more than that, but the simple part of it. And like I don't know if he was a weirdo, you know what I mean? But she dated him for a year, so he couldn't be that weird. So I don't know. Maybe she just wasn't ready to settle down. She still wanted to play the field a little bit, and then later on in life, she'll be ready to get married. Some people, it don't matter. They just not ready to get married mentally. Like they don't see themselves in that environment yet. So no
Mhm.
matter how good of a person you is, you might have to wait a few years. I mean, most people not gonna wait, but I'm just saying like you might have to wait till they hit a certain age mark or just go through certain experience to the point where they're like, all right, I'm done. I'm ready to find love. So it's just it could I feel like that's the answer for her. Like she just wasn't ready for that and at all, no
I
matter
didn't
what
I
they
didn't know
did.
this. I didn't know this, but there was like a 10-year age gap.
10 years? Oh, he like okay, yeah, I know he was older. I forgot. He just looked young.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but that's also another thing too. Like she's younger. She's younger. She's attractive. She's popular. She has everything popping for her right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why why settle? Like
Yeah.
I mean, some people want to live that life. Like that's all on. That's I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to get canceled.
Hey,
So
bro, what you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, she was for the streets.
She what? Nah, so look, yes, I just thought about this. So how old is she? 20, how old is she?
I mean, I feel like we're in such a, and like, I feel like saying she's for the streets has like a negative connotation, but like, isn't that like a positive thing at this point now?
I
Like, is it some sort of like empowerment, like sexual empowerment type of
Maybe
thing?
not that exact terminology. I've only heard it as a way of degrading women.
Uh, I'm trying to like
But
spin it. I'm trying to spin it. I'm pretty sure there's like
I
a
mean,
positive.
I think sexual freedom, I would say.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we like that.
yeah, because it's like you're able to do what you want. It just means basically you're single and you're gonna play the field. But
Exactly.
folks just say it a certain way. She for the streets, he for the street. They say he now. Men are whores too. So it
And
could be
been
either way.
horse.
Yeah, but we haven't been called out on it. I don't mean we, but you know what I mean.
All right. So last story of the week. This is a crazy story. So a Google engineer was placed on leave for claiming that the company's artificial intelligence chatbot is sentient, meaning they have developed an AI that pretty much scans the internet and like picks up on like different trends, picks up on like how people speak, how people just feel,
Mm,
and has gotten to the point where you can have a conversation with it and it could like tell you that it talks to you like it's a real person. It thinks of itself as it being like an actual like being.
see, I don't like when people start playing God. You know what I mean? You start doing too much. You start trying to create technology that's real. People are real. Just go interact with a person. See, like once you start making these robots become realer and realer, I don't really like that. So that's cool. I mean, folks will find the gimmick cool, but this is the first step in the wrong direction.
I feel like it's being I'm conflicted because part of me feels like it's a little over dramatic in the sense of like when you think about it, if it scanned the internet and it I assume it works in a way where it's like it finds certain sentiments and it sees how people talk about these certain sentiments and then it kind of pulls things based off of the things it's already read. So in that sense,
Mm,
it's not really thinking, but then again, someone could argue that people aren't really thinking and that we're just reflections of genetics in our environment. So
mm.
I that's where I become conflicted because they're like, well, what is the difference then?
Hey, listen, I wholeheartedly like believe there are people out there that are like NPCs. Like, have you ever came across a person that just like literally a placeholder?
I don't know. I think very hard about the people around me, and I feel like I'm very
Like,
perceptive.
I mean, like people that like they'll out. Like, there are certain experiences in life where people will like walk by you and like say something like really
I got an
wild and
example.
crazy and just like
I I
turn
got an
right.
example.
All
Uh-huh.
right.
I worked at a warehouse, right?
Hmm.
I was literally doing moving some boxes, me and a group of dudes, and this medium-sized white lady I've never seen in my life. Never seen in my life. I worked there for at least a month. Never seen her. She walked by. She was kind of swaying just slightly, but on like a steady pattern. And she just looks and she goes, "There's no work." And she just kept walking on that same pattern. I said, "Wait, what you say?" She didn't respond to me. She just kept walking. And I said, "Nah, there's no way that was a real person, bro. That had to be an NPC." She said one phrase. I responded and said, "Wait, what you say?" She didn't respond to me and kept walking the same way. NPC.
When you put it like that, I see where you're coming from more so. That also does sound like illicit drug use to me, though.
Maybe drugs turn
That's
people
every
into
possibility.
NPC.
Low key, though?
I
Low
mean,
key.
they just be sitting there
Hmm.
doing nothing, and then they just know to eat or drink or whatever. They mind go into the basic state. NPC.
Hmm.
See, you're only
I
a main character
so
until you do drugs.
I don't know if anyone else has done this or anybody that's worked retail has like
Mm,
could like put themselves like where I'm going with this, but like I've done that before, like at work, where
Hmm.
I've been in like this autonomous mode where
mm.
I'm just at work.
You have to
This is
numb your
all this is me. It's
brain.
all again. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was working in the warehouse, you're moving a box onto a pallet, a box onto a pallet, and
Ah,
you do that for 3,200 boxes. You have to turn your brain off to just be like box, pallet, box, pallet. Because if you keep thinking, you're gonna get tired of it, and you're gonna want to stop. So you have to
hmm.
numb your brain and just turn it in auto, and you turn into an NPC.
Fair. So basically, dissociation.
They try to
I'm
change
out
the
Yeah.
until my
word.
shift is over.
Yeah, because a lot of times if you don't do that at work, you're gonna overthink your job and you're gonna go home.
Because I be
There's
thinking
a
about
show.
everything.
So there's a show I need to finish. It's called Severance, and it's on
Mm,
Apple TV.
Hmm.
So the grand gist of the show is, you know, people can go to work, and when they go to work, their memories and like who they are as a person outside of work, they have no memory of, no recollection at all. The only thing that they know is like them at work. So while they're at work, that's literally the life they're living. When they leave work, everything from work gets wiped from their memory.
Do they be having office partners? That would be wild.
mm.
And you would never know. You could
Dang,
have
yeah.
you could have an office partner and then be neighbors with them in real life and hate that neighbor.
Yeah, because they could be a
Well,
bad neighbor but a great worker. But I feel like that's fair though, because I'm not against the idea, because it would make everything more simple. You would never have situations like a breakup causing you not to go to work, which causes you to get fired, which causes stress. Like it wouldn't be that because a lot of times when stuff happens at work, like it's because you're either, you get a text at work that could depress you and all of that personal stuff go into work. If you just lock in and then go home and be able to be a husband because you're not even stressed about work, that kind of is a good idea. But I don't really like the idea of not being able to remember what I did or even know like at all. Anything could happen to you at work. When you go home, you can't tell nobody. So I don't really know.
Yeah. But no,
that's
knows the
definitely
craziest thing about that chatbot that Google has is that when it
a.
was asked like what's like its biggest fear is being turned off and not existing anymore.
Same.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically everybody's biggest fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they and like no, but the craziest part is that it acknowledged the fact that it being turned off and like that's like to I guess to preserve like the greater good.
Mm,
Like it says, like
Mm.
I need to find what it said verbatim. It was like along the lines of like it knew that it had to be shut off because like if I guess if it grew too sentient, then like where could that go?
See,
Because
that's what I'm
imagine like a
saying.
or imagine a rogue AI
Not
just
only
taking
a rogue
it's
AI though,
Google.
a rogue AI that has the personality of whatever it's been looking at on the internet.
And that's the biggest thing. Yo, whose idea was it to give like a AI that could learn the ability to go to Twitter? Like that was that. If humanity is fucked, it's because they allowed that.
But
That's
what
the
if it's funny
downfall.
though? What if it's funny though? Like the funny side of Twitter.
You put
Like,
it on Black Twitter.
yeah, like I was just about to say that. Like, it might be killing people, but it's funny. Like, I can't. It's basically Deadpool. It's
Oh
basically
my
Listen,
Deadpool.
god.
if I get killed by like a robot and like it's playing like an audio from Instagram,
Like a meme.
like a
It's making
meme,
a TikTok.
it's making a TikTok.
Yo, could you imagine just a and they it the TikTok
It's just up over your body.
right now that would depress me. That's one of my biggest fears actually. Dying in like a dumb way. Like the
Hmm.
last memory of you is just like you slipped and broke your neck and they like what happened? You slipped on a banana peel. Like actually and dying, that's one of my biggest fears.
Hmm. I hated
I,
that show Dumb Ways to Die because of that.
Yes, because they put
what
different ways in your head.
we talking about that on the was it the fifth like that show that showed like the different ways that people died like just randomly that show what was your
Hmm.
They
But
had
they
what
that.
was
were.
what was the one like the one like scenario that's like stuck with you
There
from
is
that
one
show?
actually that came to my mind immediately. This man had gotten into a fight with a significant other. He was drinking, walking around the house mad. He fell, hit his head on a fireplace, passed out, and drowned in a dog bowl.
Nah, that's so sad, bro. That's how your family found you. You died because of the water. Mine isn't as, I don't even know if I want to say it,
Nah.
but it's the one that literally stuck in my head where I was like, wow. Like, okay, I'll tell you. It was a lady. She, I'll say a little lonely in terms of relations. Um, and she goes to the grocery store. She's walking the aisle. She goes to the produce aisle. She sees a carrot, right?
Damn, I think I
Says,
remember
yeah,
this
nice,
one.
nice carrot, right? She takes it home. She's looking at that carrot. It's a nice thick carrot. She starts shaving it, just making it a little more smoother. And she takes that carrot to her bedroom instead of to the kitchen. And one thing may have led to another, and she used said carrot to, right? And she left a sharp edge on the carrot, and apparently it cut her internally, and she died.
Mm-mm. Boy, no way, boy.
That that's that is what they're telling your family how you died
That's rough.
from horniness. I can't go out like that, man. I can't
Mm-mm.
go out like that.
So like when that happens, do you have like close friends that are like, all right, this is what we're really gonna tell people? Do you think you have
Oh,
like a core group of people that will like cover
Mm,
that for you?
I gotta set it
I
up.
don't think I do. I think if I died I think if I died in a dumb way, that's enough. That's on brand enough for people to be like, okay, that was Chris.
I got you, bro. Just because that's one of my fears. If I came out, just Lord forbid, knock on wood. If I came out and you died just doing something stupid, like I don't really know, you slipped on some wine and fell off a chair, and I'm gonna set it up where it's like, yo, I didn't do it. That's first. That's first. Because I know I'm going to jail. But I would try to tell somebody, what I'm saying? Nah, actually, never mind. I'm telling them what happened, bro. Because they gonna take me to jail. I'm over here lying. They're like, no, he did not like that. Nah, you know what?
that's a good point.
You don't have a
Well,
group of friends.
that's also good. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
point.
Now, if I heard
Hmm.
about it, then I would lie.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How do we even get to that? So, final thoughts on sentient AIs. Is that the way we're gonna go out? Is it gonna be aliens? Is it going to be surging gas prices?
Oh
Man,
my god.
it's probably gonna be the gas prices, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
I do think it's gonna be either AI or scientists end up releasing something. I don't want to say beast, but like disease, possibly something that they shouldn't have been experimenting with is
They
gonna.
already tried that.
Yeah, but they a couple of tries, you can perfect something. That's all I'm gonna say. Give
Mm.
me two more outbreaks, and all of a sudden something gonna break.
Oh my god. Yeah, I honestly think it's either gonna be war or global warming. Sorry to not be so funny with that one. I feel like AI is the least of my worries at this very moment. Like in my mind, I maybe this is naive. I'm like, at least AI probably would believe in science. Um,
Mm,
so that's something.
that's a good point. Uh, all right.
Nah, I say it's going to be a combination of all of it.
Fair.
It's gonna start with the Trump riots. There's gonna be more of his. Do y'all understand? He has like a whole ass app where like they just like
Hmm.
he has a social
They just
media app
yee it up.
where
Truth.
they congregate and do and say
Mm,
whatever that they before we even get out there's like a story that broke this weekend about, did you
Hmm.
guys see like the group of people that got caught about to attack like a pride festival or something like
In
that?
at the
Washington.
U in the
Yep.
U-Haul?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Shout
not the
out,
first time that's happened.
but shout out to the person who
Hold on.
saw all those people climbing into the U-Haul and was like, wait a minute, this isn't right, this doesn't seem right, this I have to call the
See,
police. Kudos to that
that
person.
goes back to what we was talking about, Chris, when you was talking about the shooting in the last episode, and we
Hmm.
was like, people need to speak up. Like, if you see some suspicious activity, say something. Don't just sit by and hear a story break later and be like, oh, now it makes sense. Nah, you see all those people getting in the U-Haul, you're like, hold on, I ain't see no furniture. I gotta call somebody. Like, that's a great congratulations to you. You know, Citizen of the Year so far.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I just want to shout them out. Shout that out. Fuck all, was it 29 of those people that got caught? 30, it was a lot of 20
Wha-
something
Yeah,
people,
Yeah.
30 something. I think it was like 31. I don't know. That's
Yeah, there
it's a
crazy.
weren't a
big
30
U-Haul.
something arrests.
Yeah. So
Could
good,
you
good.
could you imagine though? Could you imagine like all of y'all getting the U-Haul and then you chilling and then the door opens, it's the police?
Like we here?
Like that's what happened, bro. Like they all in there ready to do some like wild, wicked stuff, and then you just in the police. Hey, step out for me. That's exactly what happened, bro.
Hmm.
And the funny part is like seeing the picture of like all of them like handcuffed, and it looked like the end of a Scooby Doo episode where they like unmask the villains.
Oh my God, yes.
You not wrong. Looking stupid.
Mhm. They look stupid as hell for real.
For real. You matching going to jail. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
All right, let's do shout outs. Shout outs. Carissa, thank you for being on this episode. We appreciate you being on. Anything you want to shout out?
Nothing in particular. I mean, I'm over on social media. I show up on TikTok and Instagram at Invisible Melanin. Maybe I might start posting on YouTube. We'll see. But that is
Okay.
Carissa Victoria. I think the link is definitely in one of my bios. You can't search me yet because I don't got enough followers, but that's okay. You'll find it. I believe in y'all.
All right, Cedric, what you got?
I'm still me. Cedric, so you can follow me at said the second underscore in between each word. Follow High Thoughts Sober Actions on TikTok, and you can follow HTSA Podcast on Instagram. We're gonna be posting more stuff, so just tune in, tell your friends, and I'm still me.
All right. And this is Chris signing out for another episode of the Kickback. Thank you for tuning in. And check out Should I Play That? We're
Facts.
wrapping up the Summer Games Fest. There's some dope games being announced. I think my favorite so far, I think Saints Row looks pretty dope. There's a new Saints Row
Mm.
coming out that I'm excited about, and I think like the most disappointing thing I've seen is that Sonic Frontiers game.
Really?
Trash. Yeah, looks it. I've seen there are fan games being made right now that look better than that. Yeah. Yep. So check that out. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to your audio playlist, audio podcasts. We're there, and check out our TikTok. We're working on some TikToks. We'll be dropping those pretty soon. We'll catch you guys later. Catch you guys on conversations. Share the stuff. I appreciate everyone sharing the content, sharing the clips. You guys are great. I love the support system. I love all y'all. Catch you guys next time. Peace.